A young man, dressed in his best suit, sprinted through the rain toward the office building, where his dream job interview was scheduled. As he rounded the corner, he saw an older woman struggling to carry heavy boxes, her arms full, her umbrella blown inside out by the wind, papers scattered across the wet pavement. He froze. If he stopped to help, he'd be late. If he didn't, she'd be left stranded. With a deep breath, he knelt and began gathering the documents, shielding them from the rain. He helped her inside, dried off the boxes, and even insisted on carrying them to her office, completely missing his interview slot. Flustered, he emailed the company, apologizing for his absence and explaining what happened. Minutes later, his phone rang. "Come to the 10th floor," the HR manager said. Confused, he returned only to find the woman he'd helped sitting behind the CEO's desk. "You were the only candidate who proved you'd put people before schedules," she said with a smile. "That's the kind of leader we want here. Success isn't just about being on time. It's about showing up as the right person. Integrity has a way of opening doors that punctuality alone cannot. Your character will always be your best resume." The young man got the job, but the story didn't end there. Months later, as he settled into his new role, he noticed a nervous intern fumbling through a presentation in front of senior executives. Remembering his own moment of grace, he stepped in to offer support, subtly guiding the intern without stealing the spotlight. The CEO, watching from the back of the room, nodded in approval. At his first performance review, she shared something unexpected. "I didn't hire you just because you helped me that day. I hired you because people like you change workplaces. You make them human. Opportunities don't always come with a label. Sometimes they look like a stranger who needs help, a small act with no audience, a choice between what's right and what's easy. The world rewards competence, but it remembers kindness. Your legacy won't be the jobs you got, it'll be the lives you lifted along the way. Want to keep the momentum? Try this. One next time you're in a hurry, pause. Look for the hidden test. To ask yourself, if this were my last day here, how would I want to show up? The right people are always watching, not just bosses but future friends, partners, and the person you'll become. The young man, his name Daniel, accepted the job with gratitude, but he couldn't shake the surreal feeling that his entire future had pivoted on a single act of kindness. A year later, the company hosted a leadership summit. Daniel, now a rising star in his department, was asked to share his story. Nervously, he stood before a room of executives and recounted the rainy day that led him here. When he finished, the CEO took the mic. "Most people think success is about strategy, connections, or luck," she said. "But the truth? The world runs on unseen moments, the split-second decisions that reveal who we really are." Daniel didn't just help me that day. He proved that the best leaders don't watch for opportunities, they are the opportunity. The room erupted in applause, but the real surprise came after. A visiting executive from a Fortune 500 company approached Daniel. "We need people like you," he said, handing him a card. "Call me one. Your reputation is built in invisible moments. The elevator chat, the coffee spill you helped clean, the colleague you defended, they all compound. 2. Character is currency. Skills get you in the door, but integrity keeps opening new ones. 3. Kindness is a ripple. That woman Daniel helped, she later mentored him. The intern he supported became his most trusted teammate. The next time you're tempted to ask, 'What's in it for me?' flip the script. What's the right thing to do? Who might remember this? What story do I want told about me? Because here's the secret. Life isn't one big test. It's 1,000 small ones, and the grading is silent." 5 years later, Daniel sat in the same boardroom where he'd once interviewed. Now as the company's youngest VP, the CEO, his mentor, was retiring. At her farewell dinner, she handed him a small box. Inside was the bent umbrella from that rainy morning, now framed with an engraved plate. The best leaders don't watch for storms, they help others through them. But the story didn't end there. That Fortune 500 executive? He became Daniel's most important client. The nervous intern launched a startup with Daniel's guidance. Even the janitor, who'd watched Daniel clean up the scattered papers that first day he later told HR. It was the moment he knew this was a company worth staying with. 1. Every interaction is an interview. The barista, the taxi driver, the rival you treated fairly, they're all potential doors. 2. Your worst day might be your best opportunity. That flat tire, missed flight, or power outage. It's setting the stage for who you'll become. 3. Legacy isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the shadows of ordinary moments when you think no one's watching. Tomorrow, you'll encounter a distraction that's actually a test. A stranger, who could be anyone. A choice between convenience and character. The question isn't, will it matter? But are you ready for how much it will? The world doesn't track your karma points, but it always settles the account. What's one small act you've done that came back unexpectedly? Share in the comment box. Let's prove kindness compounds. That framed umbrella? It hangs in the company lobby today. New hires are told its story during orientation. Because some interviews don't happen in rooms, they happen in the rain.